you seem so excited because I was talking to Aaron about season 2 and this awesome scene you had in the office where I'll send you back to prison and I'll do all this stuff. And when you were here, you were just talking, you got excited about like some people will always ask you like, what's your best one liner or what's your, and things like that. And it's like, trying to figure it out, but you're like, I felt like it's nice to see that you're excited about season 3 and all the stuff that you get to do in season 3.
Yeah. I mean, look, the first 2 seasons, Paul, my character, has been like a very, I don't know, Georgia, the lead character, and Brienne, who plays her, is brilliant.
Yeah, she's great.
But she's a maelstrom. She is a storm, and there's a martial art to being with somebody like that, who is just like, she's a force of nature, and you've got to figure out a way to continue standing, not let that thing, topple you over. And Paul has been able to stand tall through all this, take a beat, and somewhat politically respond, sometimes very thoughtfully, sometimes very carefully, but respond in season 3, it kind of strips a lot of that away. I've been using one word for this season, reckoning. A lot of people's decisions and choices, whether to do something they've been warned against or to let something sit that maybe they should have addressed. All of those things come to the fore in season 3. And it creates some new, really interesting dynamics between characters. So, I get some cool stuff with Rhea Black, who plays Joe. Love that guy in real life. Didn't get a ton of time with him on screen. I get a little bit more of that in season 3.
Yeah.
And out of creating these new relationships, because they are all relationships, like how your character relates to somebody else. It's so fun because you find some really funny, really interesting things. And so 2 of my all-time favorite lines that Paul says are in season 3. And last night we had our premiere, which is crazy.
It's just killing.
We haven't had a premiere though. This was our first premiere. We're going into season 3. We got our first premiere, which was like so cool, but it's been so long since I've been to a premiere of something I'm in. I think like 2011. I mean, I'm talking 13 years. You want to talk about being out of practice for something like that.
Yeah.
Right? I go to other people's carpets, take some pictures. That's fine. No interviews. And so I'm on the red carpet. I forgot how rapid fire all these questions are.
Oh, yeah. It's so
and
cool. They
like,
don't get it's just like, how's this? What's your character like?
And with Netflix, it's all like fan-driven questions. And it's all like, what can I say? What can I say? Everything is super secretive. I'm like, like crumbling on the carpet. And so I was like, what's my favorite line? Oh, it's this. Oh, I can't talk about that. That's in season 3. No, it's this one. Oh, no, I can't talk about that. So yeah, I was kind of like, I was a little petrified. I'm like so comfortable in so many places. But last night on the carpet, I was like, what is happening, dude?
That's exciting though, man.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And it's really taken Netflix by storm, right? I mean, the show's like a big success. It's not just like, oh yeah, there's another, because there's so many shows, but it's getting so much attention. Why do you think that is? What would you say it is about this show that people are really responding to?
Its voice, I think, is different than a lot of the other shows. And I think a lot of that comes because our creator, this is like her first major thing. She was in development and stuff before this at a production house. But it is so clearly Sarah Lampert's voice in our script and her fearlessness to try the craziest shit. I mean, she created this character of Georgia and this family dynamic of her and Ginny and Austin and, a woman who will do anything to protect her family in a way that I don't know we fully 100%. I mean, I know these stories have been told before, but not in this like kind of like fish out of water fashion. There's a lot of humor. But it's just her voice. This is a lot of Sarah Lampert's voice. And I remember when I read the pilot, there was like 17 F-bombs in the script. And I was like, what is this? And for people out there that don't know, like Netflix has a bunch of different categories within their, I look at them like a hedge fund of television, right? They want to have different portfolios, right? So they have drama, they have young adult, they have spectacle, they have like all these different listings of shows. And you've got to fall into one of these buckets.
What does this fall into?
They started an indie line. And I think it was something like 10 shows they had kind of picked up. Only 2 of them ever got made. The indie line kind of like got killed off. They were looking at a way to make, shows at smaller scale, as well as the big, huge spectacle shows. So like a Bridgerton, that's a big show, man.
Yeah.
But you've got to have some balance, right? So we were one of those balance shows. But I remember reading it and just going, holy crap. Like this woman is like killed a dude in a flashback and she's on the run from like this old motorcycle gang
Yeah,
and one
she's
of her
got some.
ex-husbands, and like she ends up in this small town in the Northeast, which I think was a really fun way to do the fish out of water thing. Taking somebody from the South and putting them up north is not normally what you see.
Right.
Usually take somebody from a coastal elite town, throw them into the South, and they make comedy out of it. But this was so different. And the way that Paul reacted to her, I had like scenes from, episode 8 or episode 6, which of course I didn't get those scripts of. So I'm just getting snippets of his character. And he was like this really confident in a cool way kind of guy, like really sure of himself.
Till he
And
meets her.
but even in the scenes that I auditioned with, he was like still like, one
Together.
of the audition scenes was the whole town is telling him he shouldn't date this woman and he's not allowed to date this woman. And he's like, fuck you. I'm doing it. I'm the mayor. I don't care. We're doing this. You like me.
Yeah.
I like you. Let's stop all the high school bullshit. We're together. And that was like, I loved that element of him. So it's just her voice. And then, we do talk about a lot of subjects and we have a large cast, which is unique, I think, nowadays.
How many people are in the cast?
I think a testament to how good your cast is how many like regulars you add as you go forward as a show. So season 1, I think we're 8 deep series regulars.
Jeez.
We're up over 10 now. And that's because this casting on this show has been perfect. We have just incredible actresses and actors that are younger, that this is one of their first bigger things.
And it builds excitement. It
Yeah.
adds another level when you do that.
Yeah.
It's like, in a sense, it's like a team, a sports team.
Yeah.
It's like, your team has all the elements and it's like, they didn't win the Stanley Cup. So they acquire this person and this person. And it's like, oh, it adds a little depth. It adds a little this.
Yeah.
And it just gets stronger and stronger.
And that's what we've been doing.
You
We've
know?
been like acquiring talent. It's like the Warriors. No.